Hi, I'm weather analyst Andrew Fleck, just here for a winter weather outlook around your late Friday night. Just doing an update on the current storm that's going to be affecting the south and into the mid-Atlantic and northeast regions through this overnight time period into the morning on your Saturday. And the first winter storm is upon the mid-Atlantic and northeast. That is the first widespread one, and there's going to be the possibilities of not an overly exaggerated amount of snow widespread, but in most cases, the first widespread accumulational snow. So let's first get to the radar here and show you what we're talking about. What we had earlier today was this band right here affecting portions of Texas, Louisiana, and believe it or not, some of that snow came down and accumulated between 1 to 3 inches down there, which was really unbelievable. And even some of that already has melted. So, as you can tell, sometimes the snow down around the south just isn't meant to be. But hey, I'll tell you what, that's very impressive when you can get snow all the way down to the Gulf Coast. Very impressive. So, what we have here first is one band, or the second surge of energy across the southeast. That is going to get closer and closer to this calm head band right here, and that's going to be the colder head of snow and mix. And what that is going to do is move into the Appalachians later tonight and early into tomorrow morning. And by the morning time and afternoon, this band is now going to be moving up into PA in the northeast. And really, we're looking at a good amount of snow across the Appalachians as you go into the higher elevations. And there you could see up to perhaps 8 inches of snow, 6 to 8 in that area across the higher Appalachian Mountains. As we head into the mid-Atlantic, then we're talking about more of a 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inch snowstorm, depending on how west, how south, how east, how north you are. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But all in all, right now, we're just kind of at the time period where we're just slowly progressing into the storm formation, into what as much we're going to have the warmer side to the colder side. And overnight, into very early tomorrow morning, you're going to see it really structure itself very well and better looking. So, going into temps right now, a lot of folks I have seen on the forums are kind of being a little worried about the temperatures currently right now. Temps were supposed to be a lot lower than they are now, and well, in some cases, they're not falling, and you are correct. And some areas are falling under warmer advection, which means you have a warmer upper atmosphere that's affecting the temperatures and keeping them either at a standstill, rising them, or keeping them at a standstill, making it unable for them to drop. Some areas are falling into a colder advection, so there's some areas a little colder and some areas a little warmer. So you need to kind of see what's going to happen there. But we do have, even in this yellow, we do actually have still some 30s in this line here. So I'd say even close to Philly, even close to New Jersey, where you're still in maybe those high 30s, you can still see snow, but it's be a mix of snow and rain. As of right now, most of the precip is still down around the southeast, but if that precip were to rise into the mid-Atlantic around the big cities, you would have at this point, given temperatures, some rain and some snow. It wouldn't be all snow. But as we progress into the morning, and by tomorrow, your Saturday, things are going to cool down a little bit, and that's when most of that rain, if any, could then change to snow, and that's where your accumulation does exist. So, again, temperatures where they could be, maybe a little warmer, but I wouldn't worry too much about that at this time. I think right now you're just getting the whole system itself starting to just erupt, and it's trying to structure itself. And once it structures itself, things will start cooling down. The advections are going to become more organized, and everything should probably pan out to where it should be, with it being colder, and in some areas starting as rain, and then changing over to some snow and some mix. And we'll talk about that, like I said. So, looking at watches, warnings, advisories, we do have a good amount of warnings, watches, and advisories all the way down from Louisiana, Mississippi, all the way through the Appalachian states and into Maryland. Nothing in PA right now, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, nothing around there, or even New York yet. I think that's going to be coming into tonight. I don't make the National Weather Service watches, warnings, advisories, but I can give a suggestion that it does look favorable for some advisories into PA when they come out with those advisories. I'm pretty much clueless on that upper hand, but I can say that given the models and how they look, you do appear like even into PA, the advisory train is probably going to come to life later tonight when the National Weather Service does pronounce um, an advisory or a warning, like I said. Um, could there be a warning around there? I don't know about that. If I were the National Weather Service, and what I really think the National Weather Service would do first would be just to put out firstly an advisory and then do a nowcast from there to see if the issues or the time for a warning would be acceptable. So I think it would be a better time to be conservative, see what the radar floats around with, and if a warning is needed to be issued, it would probably be a good time to do that. So all in all, in our snow map here, we do expect the low pressure to be off the coast of North Carolina and off the coast of New Jersey and the Delmarva. And what we do expect, though, is a snow accumulation, and like I said, one that's going to be a little more widespread than some of the early month ones we've had. Again, across the Appalachians, we do expect in the higher elevations 3 to 6, even 6 to 12. When you're really high up in that higher elevation area, you're going to have heavy snow come down very quickly and accumulate very quickly again. And funny thing about it is this system is a quick hitter. It's not going to be a very prolonged 12 to 18 hour snow. It's going to be a good 8 to 10 hour snow. It's going to come through, hit quick, and move out. And when you have the possibilities of 3 to 6 to 12 inches across that area, you know it's going to be pretty heavy. So I would definitely embrace for yourselves if you are caught in that bluish area. Around the other areas, we do have some white, and that indicates some 1 to 3. Even at times, really isolated areas could get up to even 4 or 5. So I would not hence to pull back at that one bit. But as of right now, what we think about overnight at our first snowfall map right now would be fairly conservative, but fairly realistic at another standpoint. Again, if we wake up tomorrow and things seem a little aggressive or maybe a little more gun shy, we might change to less amounts or more amounts. So we'll have to see what happens. But as for now, the snow is going to start structuring itself overnight as every hour progresses. And by Saturday morning, we're going to be seeing a snow band, some rain, and we're going to see where the rain and where the snow is going to set up. So in my opinion, I think that looking at a map here, you're probably going to have your rain set up probably about here and all the way down, and I think the snow is probably going to fall west of that area, so it's going to be very close. But as for now, just looking at the temperatures, observations, the advection, that looks most permanent and most sensible. So as for now, for this late night update, that's what I really think about right now with how the storm is going to act. I will be doing an update overnight late tonight just to see where we at through the midnight and before early morning hours, just to see where we're at until we get into the morning. So as for now, just keep an eye on analysiswx.com for more updates, videos, pictures, and any info that you have. Again, folks, if you have any snow pictures or any of that, feel free to send it to analysiswx.com to any of the contacts, and we'll be freely and happy to post it on the Analysis WX homepage and with your name and email, and we'll be very happy to share these pictures with the public. So feel free to do that if you do get any impressive snowfall pictures. So I'm AnalysisWX.com's weather analyst Andrew Fleck. Hope you guys have a good late night, and I'll talk to you a little bit later on.